Good morning, good people. Your boy Carcino got a lot of rest. A lot of rest yesterday. A lot of people was like, where's Cino? Cino was putting out some videos while he was in his sleep. I only put out like maybe 2 videos yesterday and people was freaking out. It's like, you did the Laker video and I ain't see you no more. I'm like, I put out another video. They didn't want you to see it, but I put it out. But that's not neither here nor there. Oh, man. It's one of those days where we have all this great material. NBA is back in full swing. I'm still halfway through the Knicks and Piston game because I watched the Bulls and Pelicans, and they played that like a real NBA game. I don't know, nobody told them this is the first game of preseason. They was playing that like a real game. I said, well, damn. they didn't get the memo that the Lakers got. So now, Gilly has decided to stand up like a man and throw down. I was sent the clip and I said, okay, let me go see what's going on here. So I want to hear exactly what Gilbert Arenas was saying. Once again, he didn't bring up the Jeffrey Dahmer analogy, but he brings up the analogy of how we're taking things and turning it around and trying to make things seem like what it isn't. We're painting a whole new story to cover up. Now, we don't literally think you're Jeffrey Dahmer. So I hope he wasn't, that stupid to believe that we think Gilbert goes out and start eating people. But the way you were dressed, yeah, you could have been one of the victims. You look like one of the victims that was in Jeffrey Dahmer's house. But I don't doubt Gilbert would have drunk anything to get dizzy or anything else. He'd been too busy talking to be drinking. Dahmer would be like, don't you feel like taking a drink? No. I got too much energy. I'm too fired up. Man, it's a great place. Man, you need to get them to come in here and clean this place. It kind of smell a little bit, but it looked clean. What you got for music? I would really prefer if you just took a sip. So, Gil is always going to be in that environment, right? He's always going to be in that mode. Now, for me, things move a little different. I like to deal with the facts and realities, and it's more than the generalizations. Now, let's state some statements that were made from just his rambling. He once stated we changed the narrative of him being a selfish player. So Gilbert Arenas is trying to say he's not selfish. Not selfish, Gilbert Arenas. Okay. Now that we have not selfish Gilbert Arenas, what else don't we have? So we have not selfish Gilbert Arenas. Another thing that he stated in there, and he said, I'm not even gonna comment on that one. That's ridiculous. About Sam Cassell being a better basketball player than him. He scoffed. He didn't say anything. He scoffed at the idea and notion that Sam I Am, we said he had a better career than Gilbert Arenas. That was the actual statement. But they scoffed it at the idea of him being better than Gilbert Arenas. So those were the two things that stood out. Then he said another thing about myself. No NBA players, no casino. No NBA players, no casino. I'm not selfish. Sam Cassell scoffed it. Okay? That is on the board. And the reason it's on the board because I wanted to be very clear that those are the three things that he talked about and harped about in his little rants. Because we're going to address those three things. And we'll go and take this last one first. Okay? The last one is no NBA players, no casino. What's up? So no NBA player know that I exist. Now, that's very vague. I don't know. Does he mean current NBA players? Because if he means former, then what is Kwame Brown? What do you mean by no? Like, I've been to their weddings. I've been to their house. I know the kids. Like, what do you mean by no? I'm confused. Because if that's the case, then Gummy don't know you. So I'm having a hard time getting around your point. But here's the thing here. Notice he abandoned his plan to contact the Watson's brothers to try to expose me about the Floyd Mayweather situation. You notice how he kind of like he kind of went back away from that. Because I told him, tell Brandon, tell Marcus, tell the dad. I said, what's up? Because the people he was going to check on me, not only do I know them, not only do I have their phone numbers and can call them, I've actually been to their parties and supported their charities. What have you done? So the thing is, to try to shame me, you only make my point more valid. And the fact that you say that I don't know NBA basketball players, sir, good sir, I am not out here to saying, man, I just hope I meet NBA basketball players. It's not for me to go out and I meet people in the, as in a setting that I'm around. So if I'm around Floyd Mayweather, you don't think I know or have met NBA basketball players? Gilbert Arenas, I met you. When I was around Floyd Mayweather. I was right there. It was a high and by situation. And it just happened to be in the same place. But we were there. How you not remember that? But this is why we do what we do here, because it's always key to remind people. You see, this is Floyd Mayweather's birthday party, right? And you see Floyd right there, right? Okay, so we know that's Floyd. We got NBA basketball players in here. We have jewelers. And you even have your boy, Carcino. That's Carcino, right? Does anybody doubt that that's me right there? With the big long gold chain? Does anybody doubt that that's me? If anybody have any doubts that that's me at this party, we can just cease this moment right here. We're in the VIP main. This is Floyd Mayweather's room. Okay? This is the top floor penthouse suite. All right? Let's continue. That's Floyd Mayweather. Who did he see? When he look and see me, does he call security? He reaches over and grabs me, and me and him are having a conversation. As I apologize for missing the happy birthday and the cutting of the cake. That's D. Steve right there. That's Josh Smith right there. And a couple other NBA players. That's Adrian Bronner, that's Floyd. This place is full of NBA basketball talent and players. So I don't understand your question. Like, what is the point? I have been around them. I don't know what you mean. You're right. So what do you mean I don't know them, right? What does he mean by no? Like best friends? Like, I'm not best friends. I know Floyd Mayweather. I have his phone number. I've been in his house, but I didn't spend a night, but I know him. Josh Smith, I used to have his number. D. Steve, I used to have his number back in the day, but we have no reason to conversate. We have no business. So there was no business to discuss. There was no business for us to talk. That didn't concern anybody. But what was so funny is that your girl is here. Your girl was in there. Your wifey, your wifey, your wifey, your wifey. True. True. Your wifey, your wifey, your wifey, your wifey, too. Your baby's mother was there without the children. Oh, the things I can tell you, boy. But I don't tell about that. You know I don't speak on that. But you know I ain't lying either. See, that gotta hurt all up in here. That hurt all up in here. But you ain't had none of that smoke for Floyd. You know that. So, well, we ain't gonna go down there. We ain't gonna go down that road. But he know it's true. Kendall Gill, Craig Hodges. I have their phone numbers. I mean, they from Chicago. I would know them. There's BJ Armstrong. There's countless other NBA players that I know because I have a reason to know them. There's something in the connection in which we will do business. I'm not out here for fandom. So that's the case. I don't understand it, to be honest. But now that we put that nonsense to bed, let's move on to the next thing that was on the table. This man said Sam Cassell. Let's take that one. So we've addressed the NBA thing. Unless y'all feel we need to go over that again or something. I don't think we need to. But I think it's real weak that I gotta have NBA friends or whatever to just, like, what does that even mean? You don't know any NBA players. So I don't, what is that supposed to mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. We're gonna wait and see then. Whose information is more right about Ime Udoka? Because I think that's where he's trying to go with it. Like, he knows more than me because he used to play in the league. Who would talk to you? Most of the people, Gilly, who's in the NBA, who's never dribbled a basketball, know a lot more than the people that dribble basketballs. Just keep that in mind. Keep that up here. All right? Let's keep that up here. So the idiots that came back to tell you the information got the information wrong. I tried to enlighten you. You didn't want to listen. So then you think I went and backtracked when I was just reporting that they had new information that came out that's being leaked. It's rumors. I think it's BS, but it is what it is. You're stating it as fact. Like, that validates me. No, idiot. You were still wrong in your assessment. So now we're going to move forward. You had the people's names mixed up because you didn't even know the other person's name to begin with, who was the actual husband. The person that you're alluding to, it's not him. Because I already know who gave you the information. I already know how it was told to you and why you're screwing it up now. He's Brad Stevens' best friend. No, he isn't. Brad Stevens' best friend has nothing to do with this situation. He's not involved. So you, sir, are wrong. Now, instead of taking your L like a man, you wanted to double down. Now, you scoffed it at the idea of what we said. The gummy gave you the information all wrong. Oh, well, whatever you was talking about. You're making it seem like we said best player. We said who had the better career. But either way, let's do what we do. Let's break it down. Sam Cassell got 3 championship rings. Gilbert has none. Sam Cassell played 15 seasons in the NBA. Gilbert played 11, but was injured for 3 of them. So he really played less than 10. Gilbert Arenas, playoffs played 5. Sam Cassell played 11. You've been to 3 All-Star games. Sam Cassell's only been to 1. So congratulations there. You've been to more All-Star games. All right. Well, let's scroll up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see these things here. Gilbert scored 20 points a game. Sam averaged 15. The rebounds per game was about the same. He averaged more assists, about 1 more assist per game than Gilbert. Steals are about the same. Blocks are about the same. So the only thing you had an advantage in is that you averaged 5 more points. Well, let's come down here, ladies and gentlemen. Would you look at that? Points, Sam, assists, almost, over 1,000 more than Gilbert. Rebounds, that was rebounds 1,000 more than Gilbert. Assists, About 6,000, like 3,000 or more assists, total steals. Look at that. So he was more productive in his time. Yeah, even though he played more games, as you can see, he shot free throws better than you. Threes were about the same. He shot better from the field than you, Gilbert. And he was a winner, not a whiner. There's a difference from being a winner and a whiner. He was a better teammate. People wanted to play with Sam. Everywhere he goes, he improved the team. That's why they went to 11 different playoff series where you were only in 5. It's a difference from looking out for yourself and looking out for others. Now, exactly. So now that we discussed the Sam Cassell situation, that he scoffed it at the idea that Sam Cassell was a better player than him in his heyday. Gilbert was a hell of a scorer. He just didn't understand the game. He just did not understand winning basketball. He understood how to score points. Because he had enough guys on his team where they could have made a hell of a mark. But he too busy wanting to play hazing games and tie people up and throw dollar bills on them and do all this weird things. That was Gilbert's idea of bringing the team together. Now, the last statement he made was that he was selfish. He basically scoffed it at the idea that we were trying to prove and show that Gilbert Arenas wasn't selfish. Do I need to go there? do I need to go into Gilbert Arenas' selfishness? Gilbert Arenas, and you can ask anybody in the game, they will tell you how selfish Gilbert Arenas is. From Richard Jefferson to any player on the court that played with Gilbert Arenas, every teammate will tell you how selfish Gilbert Arenas is. No one will tell you he was not a selfish player. Why wasn't he on Team USA when he said that he had the best game of his life? Why? Wasn't because he had a groin injury. He loves to pull that groin injury as the reason why he wasn't on the team. Well, I had pulled my groin. And no. You were let go off the Team USA. Not Dream Team, but it was players full of Dream Team. LeBron, Chris Paul, all those guys on there. And you rooted for them to lose because you wasn't on it. You were mad. They were going to lose with you on the team. See, the problem is nobody wanted Gilbert Arenas. They knew of his antics. He was too silly, too immature. They didn't want that on that team. They wanted people that was going to follow the protocol to the letter. And Gilbert didn't. You want to know what Gilbert did? Gilbert decided it would be in his best interest if he was to take LeBron James one-on-one. Yeah. I'm going to go one-on-one with LeBron, one-on-one with Wade, one-on-one with all these players. How did that work out for you? None of it worked out. He is the court gesture. That's the problem. He's the court jester. I don't need to show you anything about Gilbert Arenas being selfish. Not one thing do I need to show you. You will find that across the globe. Because everybody in the free world knows it already. Gilbert Arenas is selfish. Period. He knows it. I know it. He can't lie his way out of it. There's no way out. No wiggle room. Silly Gilly. Let's go over this. You went ahead and decided that you were going to get involved with all these Section 8 YouTubers, as you call them. The own guy that you sitting there on that chair with, you called him a Section 8 guy. Right? You said he's Section 8. His channel is Section 8 channel. He won't be around. I'm like, he's a means to an end. This dude is so stupid, he don't care. This is the only thing he gonna have to having any celebrity on his channel. And you're only a celebrity because you said something stupid. I didn't even make a video when Giannis responded back to you when he called you basically jealous, bitter. You have never been in Giannis's position. You have always been selfish because you pretty much thought like, I'm out for self. I know more about your mother than you. That's very odd when your father is right there and you can talk to your father. If it wasn't for your mother, you, Gilbert Arenas, would be in a foster home and probably never would have been in the NBA. Your dad would have had to come find you and come claim you out of a foster home. He had went away to school to play baseball. Then you had a house staying with Blue's mother, or grandmother rather. You was staying over there. On your stepdad's, when that Blue's father died, his mother, y'all stayed at that house until she couldn't take care of the both of y'all no more. And she called your dad and said, come get her. So you must have been doing some silly stuff or trying to touch on Blue or whatever. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you was doing. You probably was confused at the time. All that stuff. Then you went to being a backseat baby. Living in the backseat of the car, washing up in the park. So everything you said about Giannis was like the dumbest statement a human being could ever make, because you was wrong in every point of what you said. Nothing you said made any sense. Even when you tried to double down, you made it even worse. You made yourself sound more stupid. So now you at this point where I just gotta accept it and eat it now. Yeah, because now everybody's calling you an effing idiot. Nothing you said made any sense because he's improved in every category since he came into the league. That's all he did was work hard. Till he worked hard on both sides of the ball. So you praise a man who don't play both sides of the ball. You actually told me. I wish they would have grabbed on to your stupidity of telling me LeBron's best season was last year. I wish they'd have grabbed on to that stupidity. See, you just threw a whole bunch of stupid stuff in the air and just hope somebody lassoed it. And they lassoed the one you said about Giannis because that was just the most outrageous out of all of them. They was just like, look, he's been going for attention for so long. And that's what your colleagues say about you. Oh, Gilbert just must want some attention. Because, you know how older players get. They don't even know you're on YouTube or on the internet, on Fubu Sports. They don't even know that. These are the people that were in your league that played with you, thinking you just need attention. Well, Gilbert Arenas probably just needs attention. You know how it is when older athletes, they out of the spotlight and they see these younger athletes, doing what they're doing and making money. What is Gilbert doing now? So that's how they were talking about you. We're not saying anything. That's what they were saying about you. Exactly. Trolling. Something that all this younger generation do that I don't even do because there's no need to troll. The truth hurts, period. So why is there a need to troll? I don't know. I don't know what a lot of these people are thinking. Um, it's been quite interesting to me. It's breakup season. Everybody's breaking up. I know. We'll get into all that. But let's get into some other stuff. Let's get into Gilbert Arenas still didn't speak on a very statement that we brought up. How Stephon Marbury, who was the king, Marbury was the king of China. You didn't bring this up, Gil. Stephon Marbury statue is in China. So my thing is, when he goes back to China, he looks at what his accomplishment is. He's sitting there looking at like, man, I've accomplished so much and built a whole generation of bringing the NBA to China. One black man did that when he went there. In China, they immortalized him for life. What Stephon Marbury brought to China. Brought a market there that didn't exist. He made more of an impact than Yao Ming playing in the NBA. That's facts. The NBA wanted him to come back to the NBA. He turned it down. Adam Silver Slipper said, well, if you want to come back, we could put you on the Rockets. Because that's the big China market. They wanted him to play for Houston. Adam Silver told him that. Now, when has Adam Silver become the general manager? Adam Silver came and told him, if you want to come back to the NBA, you got the ticket. And he was like, why would I want to come back to a place that don't love me? Well, Allen Iverson was so small. People don't even realize how small Iverson is. But he had more heart than Gilbert Arenas. Allen Iverson had way more heart and was way better as far as individual talent and just God given ability. I mean, Gilbert had a very fast step, first step. He wasn't fast. His mother was a track athlete, like couldn't finna go to the Olympics, and then she got pregnant with Gilbert. So Gilbert messed up her life. If you want to be honest. So what y'all talking about? Gilbert, you messed up your mama life. She gave up her life for you. Do you know your mother's parents told her to get an abortion? Your dad didn't give a damn either which way it went. No, I'm giving him some reality lessons. Like these are lessons in life that he didn't understand and never gotten. So I'm bringing this reality to him. So when he turned to his dad and he look at Pops, Pops tell him what happened. Tell him the truth. Tell your son the truth. You didn't care which way it went. You knew like I can't blow my shot. My uncle run this baseball camp. I gotta play ball. I gotta go to school. So whatever you want to do, you weren't gonna be around. So you weren't around at first. It's not low, it's truth telling. Do you realize he doesn't know these things? He doesn't know that his mother, he disrespects his mother at all times. Said, my mama abandoned me. She didn't abandon you. She saved you. And you shamed this woman for being sick. She was a young girl, dropped out of high school, did not graduate with her class because she got pregnant with you. She was on her way to the Olympics. She was going to go to Olympic trials, to USA trials. She was the best track and decathlon athlete in the state. She was one of the top. This is where you get your speed from, your height, your stubbornness, everything. That stuff come from like your mom side of the family. That was how she was. She didn't like to list. She liked to do her own thing. So this is real life lessons. Your mother's parents told her she should give up you. Abort you. So that she can have a life. She left home and had you. She was going to do it her way. She chose you, Gilbert. Your mother chose you and said, I'm going to raise him on my own. And then when they had the graduations and she had to see all her friends graduate and all that, she got depressed. And she's living a hard life. No Olympics, no track and field, no nothing. She's into depression. No daddy around. He ain't even keeping in contact. He out playing ball. So she raising Gilbert on her own. So then she falls in love with this player pimp, driving a 69, pull up. She see that wheels, and she started talking with him. And they start hanging out, kicking it, getting high. And they got baby, and that's how your brother Blue got here. Then somebody came, shot and killed him, and he died right in her arm. And that's when she was not able to really take care of y'all no more. She was mentally gone after watching the person she was with die in her arms. Meanwhile, your daddy out in school playing ball, right? He wasn't around. The state came and put y'all in a foster home, right? Your mom went and got you out. And then she turned y'all over and said, take care of him because I can't do it. She was too weak. But she didn't want y'all to get caught in the system and get used in the foster system. So if she didn't care about you, Gil, she wouldn't have went and got you up out of there and put you around people that she thought would love you. But she had to go because she wasn't right. Because if you had stayed with her, you probably ended up with a needle in your arm or something else. You've been all messed up. She didn't want that. She couldn't have no more grief like that around her. She just wanted to make sure y'all turned out well. And when you saw her in the NBA, she said, I just wanted to make sure you was all right. I'm glad that you turned out all right. She had to go fix herself, which she did before she left this earth. She got herself together. But she never held nothing against your father. She never held nothing against your anybody but herself. Her own decisions got her to where she was. She didn't want to listen. She was stubborn. But she wanted to have her baby. That was her decision. She chose to do it. Pops came home from school, had to drop out of school, had to come home and take care of you. You know, he had to do his own thing because it was his time to do it. You know, mom ain't there, it's on you. You've had a lot of years off from being a parent. So you got to step up now. And he stepped up. He did the best he could, man. And it turned out to work out in your favor. So I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying you had two parents. So while you praise your daddy, remember, he wasn't around in the beginning like that. So this that truth serum. I don't gotta sell this because this sells itself. This ain't no diss to Gilbert. This is a wake-up call to Gilbert. This is a big brother talking to a little brother, telling him you out of pocket. You don't disrespect your mother who ain't here no more. You don't talk about her in the light. Be like, I don't know that woman. That woman could have aborted you, bro. Anything she did in life that you disagree with, you gotta find your peace with that. And let that hate go out your heart, because you taking that hate and you taking it everywhere. You spending all your days and nights worrying about Kwame Brown. You spending your days and nights worrying about me. Trying to tell everybody I'm a nobody every night. But you making me a somebody. You a somebody, right? But you every night going on another nobody's channel trying to say I'm a nobody. You see how stupid that sounds? To the rest of the world, that sounds retarded. You got $100 million and you running around here worried about myself and Kwame Brown. Trying to find new ways to get at me and Kwame Brown. Because it's like, what is wrong with you, man? What is absolutely wrong with you? Right. I didn't want to go there and actually make that statement about his father, breaking his leg and all that stuff. And, so he really wasn't doing too much anyway at school. So him coming out and dropping out, I ain't go that route. Because he came home and did what a parent's supposed to do. Take care of their child. But, it takes two. You can't credit one and then dump on the other because you're young, you don't know what was going on. So now that you're older and you're a man, you can assess things that happen in an adult mindset now that you've been grown and you've been a child father yourself. You can be able to assess it better. And you could be able to say, okay, I understand. There's a lot of times I didn't understand nothing my mother was doing until I was the same age of my mother at that time, and I was like, oh man, I get it now. I'm grown. Now that I'm grown, I get it. When you're a kid and you're looking at it through different eyes. You don't even know the world yet. So when you get old enough to understand it and you see it, then you start to say, okay, I can assess it a little differently now. From an adult standpoint, you never know what people were going through at those moments in time. So don't just judge somebody because of like, oh, she was on drugs and just abandoned a baby somewhere. It's not what happened. It was things that drove her to drugs. It was things that made her go in the direction she went. We have to stop and say, okay, we got to start recognizing what's real and what's fake out here. Exactly. No, it's the protection of black families. That's what it's about. Y'all don't understand like how hard it is out here just to be black in anything, and as a family, you automatically ostracized in a lot of places just for keeping the family together. I know they're like the liberals. They only see what they want to see. They know Gilbert speak on me every day. They know you ain't got to talk to them. That's why they're here. If they love Gil so much and gumming them, why are they over here? When you be over there waiting on them, you over here to hear what I gotta say. Why would you be over here? Trust me, they know. They just trolls. They just here for the drama. That's what they is. But this isn't drama. This is actual real life. This is real situations that went down. But I've done enough research on the situation to know that when these things happen, and all of these things here, and the way Gil used to talk about his mom, even in the text with me, and I was chatting with him. He was like, "I gotta ask my dad. I don't know about any of this." I'm like, Gil, the fact you don't know anything about it this long just lets me know the reason you talking so reckless now, you would not be talking that reckless if you knew your mom. My mom was headed to the Olympics. I'm like, yeah, I told Gilbert about his mother and how she was an athlete, where he got his speed from, everything. I'm like, your mother was fast, decathlon, she's track and field, everything. Your mother did that. Your dad played baseball. Your mom was track and field, decathlon. She was headed for greater heights. Your dad was getting a leg up. That's where you get all that somebody got to do stuff from you and all that, and give me a leg up, kiss butt to get to the top. You got all that from pops. Your mom was the other side, the defiant, stubborn, but was mega talented. And she was tall. She was like 6 foot, when she like 6'2", 6'2", 6'3". Your dad was tall too. Two big dudes. This is way before he started getting kicked in the face by Chuck Norris and Van Damme. No, Pops is huge. No, I ain't gonna lie. Pops is huge. Don't get me wrong. Pops is huge. Pops is a big dude. You would think he played in the NFL. Did I meet his dad before? I don't think we met, but I think he was there. We were in Cali at the, it was a bowling. We was at the bowling thing. We were doing the bowling like tournament thing. I think somebody's like, "Yo, give it to Rena's father." He was on a team, like a bowling team with somebody. It was like one of those charity things for bowling. We were helping out. This was many years ago. I'm trying to say like '09, maybe something like that. But I don't think we've ever like shook hands and stuff like that. But that's about the extent that I know of him. Yes, I told him about his mom's in the DM. We've had this conversation one on one, me and Gilbert, and he was like, "I've never known that about my mother." He said, "I'm gonna have to ask my father because he never knew." I'm like, "Yeah, so you shouldn't be out here." It's like, man, and I don't care about my mom. F her, shoot, she left me. I'm like, dude, you should never, ever, ever speak on the woman that gave you birth, because you didn't have to be here. Do you understand that? There will be no Gilbert Arenas right now had she just listened to her parents and said, "You know what? I ain't ready yet. I'm young. I got a career ahead of me. I got a future. I'm going to go ahead and get the abortion." Boom. There's no more silly Gilly. There's no more of those 4 children. There's no more any of that. Agent Zero, all that's gone. Your dad, he ain't in the valley. He's somewhere else in Florida. But he ain't in the valley. He ain't in no $3 million house. He's somewhere trying to figure it out. So give your mom some credit, bro. I know you young. I mean, you old enough now, dog. You in your 40s. You should be smart enough to understand everything ain't what it seemed to be. And she wasn't giving you up, and she didn't abandon you. She saved you. Because you would have stayed with her, you weren't going to make it. You see Dwayne Wade mother? She wasn't able to take care of Dwayne. And she was out in the streets on drugs. and leaving Dwayne Wade in dangerous situations with a bunch of strangers, men, and all kind of stuff around her. I mean, around him, and the sister didn't. If you want to know the truth about the Dwayne Wade situation, it's on the Patreon. So you can go to Casino for Life Patreon and sign up for it and learn the whole truth about the Dwayne Wade story. The story that the parts that they ain't telling you. And it explained everything that you see today. So if anybody saw that on the Patreon, all the new stuff that was popping up, not surprising. Okay? Now, what his sister did was save his life and get him up out that house. And took him to his father. And it's like, go to your dad. She took him, not his mom. The mom wasn't well. But did Dwayne Wade turn his back on his mom? Same thing when I'm telling y'all is what I told Gilbert. I was like, look at Dwayne Wade. He went back and rescued his mother. And said, nope, you're going to get help. We're going to get you help. I ain't forgot you. You're my mother. He went back and rescued his mother. And she ain't looked back. She's preaching the gospel, everything, every day. Keeping her away from that narcotic and them streets. So Dwayne Wade is revered for going back and having the love to care for both of his parents. Even though he could have said, my mom wasn't there for me. She left me in dangerous situations. F my mom. I mean, she could have had that. He could have had that bitterness. Now, no one blames you, Gil, for having these thoughts as a child. You know what I'm saying? As a child, be like, it ain't my mom, because you don't know the world. You don't know anything yet. But if you want to, go research it yourself and find out. Find out about your mother and what she did to really save you is by giving y'all away and not letting y'all go to the state. She made sure you didn't go to the state. She could have left you in foster care. She came and got you out. She came and got you out of foster care. Unfortunately, Mr. Chaser, I was getting views before I met Kwame Brown. Kwame did help my channel. Don't ever say he didn't, because he did. But I was in this house, this very house. Before that, when I was sitting in that chair, when we heard Kwame Brown say those words out of his mouth, and we were doing a live stream, and it was in the middle of the live stream. I played that, and I was like, finally, somebody is echoing the same words I've been saying. And I said it years ago. If anybody been following me, I said it's gonna take one. It's gonna take one player to have the balls to say it, and they ain't gonna care about no backlash. They ain't gonna care about being blackballed about this. Like, you can't do nothing to me no more. When one player step up and do it, I didn't know who it was gonna be, but Lord behold, it was Kwame Brown. And I was like, it's like the heavens didn't open. It was manna from heaven. I'm like, he said exactly what needed to be said. And then you start seeing changes in media. Everybody started watching how they was talking about athletes. Everybody is, okay, wait a minute. All right, look, I can't go that far. They didn't go as hard as they used to on athletes. They was toning it out. Now, why you think they going on Malika Andrews so hard now? Who you think started all that? Y'all wouldn't have been saying nothing. That'd have been another day at the office. But now y'all going and y'all looking at it saying, hey, that's messed up. Why? Because Kwame opened that door. Kwame shook that branch. He shook that tree. And they was like, come on in, you did it, man. Come on down now, man. You party to go along, get along game. Do you know Kwame Brown, all he had to do was, he had made it. He had made it to the multi-millions of dollars, sponsorships, everything. He made it. All he had to do was come on down. Come on our show, man. We got you. We're gonna bring you in. All right, we cool now. You got us. You right. Come on in. You can come on the show and talk about it. And you can make some money off this. That's what they thought he was in it for, was the money. They didn't realize he was speaking out from years and years, and he was just fed up. They didn't hear somebody who was just fed up and tired of it. They didn't hear that. They thought like this is a clout chase because they're so used to people playing that angle, so they assume that's what everybody is on. Everybody's running a hustle. They understand that. They like, all right. And when that didn't work, it was, oh, well, he's really mad. This makes no sense. That's how they act. When you don't respond the way they, in their mind, program for you to, in their mind, they program how they think you should respond. Once you don't respond that way, oh, it's all hell. It's going to break loose now. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You didn't react the way you were supposed to react. What's up, Sister T? Sister T is in the house. Sister T is in the house. No, he's hurt. Gilbert is a hurt man. And hurt people try to hurt people. But the only thing you're going to end up doing is causing mass hysteria and causing for somebody else to get hurt. That's why Gilbert is the worst kind of friend. Because he's never your friend. It's all about what you can do for him and what he can get you to do. So he's a user. But he'll call you around to kick it and party with him and everything else. But when it's time to get something crazy, he's the type to get in a fight just to see you, throw you in front of him and fight with him and fight for him, basically, because he ain't going to be the one fighting. That's why he had his knockaround guys. That's what those dudes are called, the knockaround guys. They get in the bar fights and everything else. You go grab them and bring them around you. And that's why Gil started acting tough, because he had his buddies with him. And then he would go in Washington, and he bragged on this recently. And that's the one I did on One Crack News. But I was like, dog, you just bragged about going to jail all these times after you first tried to denounce that you was ever arrested those many times. Now you trying to talk like you was the big goon of the streets, punching people and doing all this stuff. Like, why would you want to portray that as yourself? It was sad to watch. Another grown man put himself in that scenario. Yeah, thank you guys for hitting the like button. I appreciate that, and everybody super chatting. Appreciate it this morning. I know y'all waking up to this. But shoot, Cino been asleep for like 11 hours straight. So I'm fully rested. Anybody know Cino, you know if I sleep 11 hours, you can forget that. That's a wrap, Pola. Cino is fully rested. What's on the Patreon? We help people get jobs. That's what we did. Everybody's telling me thank you, Cino, for what you did with the jobs. I'm like, no problem, bro. They wanted me to help them get jobs, so that's what we do over there. And we do have the for all the patrons, boom, we got the first look at the video. There's a cheating video allegedly of M.A. Udoka, and we the ones that got it. And then there's this. This is the new thing up. The LeBron Circle of Poison. Yeah, that's a good one. That was just 2 hours ago. I put that up. The Circle of Poison. And this is the one where I help people get jobs. And that's when I was telling them the live stream was coming. And people start putting their information in. And of course, there it is. The zesty Gilbert Arenas. Getting ready for his Jeffrey Dahmer role. He going to the same nightclub that Jeffrey Dahmer's in. Oh my goodness. The zesty Arenas, Gilbert Arenas conversation revealed. And boom, there it was. The whole conversation with me and Gil. Where he calls Gummy. Look at this. Kwame and Gummy are in the pits. YouTube Section 8. So their accounts don't get pushed by YouTube. I'm like, you think Gummy is on his level? I'm laughing. You think Kwame and Gummy are in the same boat? Kwame and Gummy are in the pits. YouTube Section 8. So their accounts don't get pushed by YouTube. So that's Gilbert telling you. Right? So if you want to see that whole conversation, if you're on the Patreon, you're already seeing it. I delivered on my Patreon. I do more work on my Patreon than pretty much anybody. They didn't told me on Patreon. Like we've never had this much activity before. Like from one channel, they're like, you kind of like people post like 2 things a week. Like I'm like two like what at each tier, or they're like, no, they normally do like just 2 items a week, and they might do like a live stream here and there, like maybe 5 total. I'd be like, for real? Like they's like, you do way more than anybody. I'm like, it's like most people might put 1 thing a day or maybe 2 things a day. Like you are just all in with information on Patreon. And I'm just like, I thought that's how it's supposed to go. I didn't know I was doing too much. So y'all don't even know it. Like most of the people that's not on Patreon, they wouldn't even know it. They wouldn't even know it. But now, Shalom Clean. Oh, that's hometown great. Oh, what's up, Homestead Great? What's up? Shalom. Show the ones that I was talking about his mom. Oh, I could, but I just feel that's inappropriate to do, but I can. If he ever wants me to or needs me to, we could do that. But I felt that was more of a me and him conversation, that we needed to go down there. Thanks, Pretty Brown Eyes. I appreciate that. Gilbert just has to grow up, man. That's just really, it's hard at this time. I would never be in a friendship with Gilbert because I know it wouldn't be a friendship. It would be something I could do for him or something he could do for me situation, and I just don't see it. There's no I'm trying to get him to, it's like, look, man, why don't you go and have a conversation with Kwame and stop this? Because you really admire Kwame. You like Kwame. He's mad Kwame Brown won't join up with him and do his plan and do it his way. Kwame want to do it his way. He want to show him, I got the power to stop everything you do. And I'm going to keep doing it till you do it my way. You know, that's his mentality. So that just shows you the power of us, period, as people. Everywhere we go, we're revered and could take over. How many billions of people are in China? Stephon Marbury came there with and couldn't even speak the language. He took over the entire country and made them love him. A kid from Coney Island went to China and became the biggest thing in the country. He was bigger than Yao. One, Yao was a big man. He's 7'6", so he was a phenom to just look at because of his massive size and everything. But Yao could play and had skills, but he wasn't going to last long in the NBA. His injuries, it was coming harder for him to, you know, put on clothing, and, you know, it just wasn't a lot of opportunities for him. They used Yao Ming to market the NBA, like to market and have the relationship with China. Because what y'all don't know is more people watch the NBA in China than anywhere else in the world. Y'all think the United States, like we're number one for NBA basketball? No, it's China. Hell, people don't even watch the games now. We watch highlights and just run our mouths. They don't even watch the games. What's up? Shouts out, Cookies. Everybody hit the like button up so they can know y'all real. So we can keep spitting that truth that they keep trying to ignore. Gilbert Arenas ain't gonna tell you about that. And he played in it. But I'm gonna give him the opportunity to respond, and then I'll go in and hit him with the truth. See, I'll just let him keep falling in the traps. No, because when Starberries came out, it showed they had to get Stephon Marbury out the game. He had damaged everything, and the NBA had built with overpricing these shoes, selling them for $200, $300. And the Starberries you can get for how much? Like $19.99, $20 a shoe. And they looked good, especially the Starberry 3s. And Stephon Marbury was out there playing in $20 shoes. That, my friend, destroys their market. Because even though he wasn't Michael Jordan, He wasn't. Nike is not gonna like this shoe company that he's promoting. You got a player that's getting a lot of publicity who's selling these shoes cheap. It is starting to tap into our market now. People are starting to say, why am I spending $200 on these shoes if they can get the same quality for $20?" See, the thing is that he got it on his own. His shoe was, you can get his shoe for under $20. With tax, I think it came out to like 19 something. Well, the first Starberries, when they first came out, the threes were the best ones to me. The first ones, they looked like a $20 shoe to me. But hey, it was affordable, it was stylish. You had NBA players who was pushing that narrative, but he was thinking out the box. Like, why aren't we doing this as NBA players? Why are we following this trend? Like, I got to get a Nike deal. And they paying you what you don't even earn. You know, when LeBron was 17 years old, he had a deal with Nike. 17, just turning 18. The Nike rep gives him a deal. And at that time, I mean, he had a deal on the table for like 60 some $1 million, and they walked away from it and chased another deal that paid them 100 million with Nike. Nike came with $100 million 3-year deal. 3 years, $100 million. And for the LeBron shoe. In the first year, the LeBron shoes grossed that whole $100 million deal. In its first year, they recouped every cent that they are owed to pay LeBron for the first 3 years. So now you're basically working for free. They're all profit for the next 2 years of having you under their deal. So now when you come and renegotiate, you can now have a scale of what you feel you deserve. And they can say, nah, that's too much, you can walk. Or not. But they got 2 more full years of eating off you of all profit. And that's how they do these athletes. My wish is that my wish for Gilbert would be he would mature enough to be able to educate his children and tell them this is what not to do. Don't do it like the way I did it. Do it different. Do it better. I made mistakes. I'll be smart enough to do that because at this point it's already over. You know, he's done his NBA thing. He's doing it the right way. You know, I'm just not cut that. I'm not cut from that cloth of kissing up to another man. You know, that's not what I want to do ever in life. If I got to tell somebody the hard truth, I just tell them the hard truth. Oh, the Clippers would have won the NBA championship that year, not the Lakers. Um, if it wasn't for the shutdown. That shutdown is what that ruined everything. This NBA shutdown, the COVID, that messed the Clippers all the way up. The Clippers was playing the best basketball at that time. The Lakers was starting to slide. They weren't going to be ready. The season was almost at an end. They were starting to come together at the right point in time. No, it was the Starberry threes for me. Those are the ones I like. Out of all the Starberry threes. I didn't like one or two, but the threes, yeah, it was for me. Well, when you start thinking about people who go into the what we like to call the mystics. Oh well, I watch my Israelite brothers like in the morning. I start seeing what they're doing out here. It's a lot of them I don't agree with what they're doing and how they're doing it, but it is what it is. But I like seeing people speak the word early in the morning sometimes. So when I get up in the day, I'll be watching this sometimes. But this guy here cracks me up. But he knows his history. But we almost got into it on the street, on 87th Street here in Chicago. Me and the Israelites, because they was doing their filming. And I walked in the middle of it. But that's the thing. They keep asking people to come up and challenge people. And when I came up, they was ready to fight. And I was like, bruh, I'm an Israelite too, but I'm saying like, okay, let's we going off the book and everything, but we going off someone else's translation that's not from our word. I'm trying to get them not to challenge them to be combative. They're ready to go to combat. I'm challenging them to open their minds. I'm like, dude, I'm challenging you to open your mind. It's deeper than symbolisms and symbols and attire. It's different. Anybody could dress the part. We know that. So it's not about that. Anybody can say the words out of a book. It's what you actually doing. That's gonna mean the test of time. Well, no, bodyguards make scary people believe in things. Like they make other people believe they're tough because they got bodyguards. They be like, "Oh, he got a bodyguard," and then they get all charged. That's how Gilbert thinks. Gilbert thinks, okay, bodyguard means that's it. You know, I got bodyguard. That's my protection. There's a video they don't want you to see. I've done it and it's already up and they don't want you to see the video. My thoughts on Jamel Hill defending Malik Andrews. I done it 3 hours ago. 3 hours ago. They have not released that to y'all. They don't want that video out. One day you guys will see this video. The first look at the alleged video of Ime Udoka's affair. 59 people have seen it so far. So if you're one of the special ones, you'll get a chance to see it. But other than that, it's not out yet. So you got to ask the next question. Why are they prohibiting you from seeing that video? What do they don't want you to see that's on that video? Tell us about it. What didn't you think from that situation would show and rear its ugly head? That's like saying in most instances, we're seeing things from two different sides of the coin or the field, right? Look. This is what he wants to be. the tough guy. Tough guy Gilly. He the man. That's what he want to do. Absolutely. That's what he wants you to see. This is what he wants you to know. He glorifies what? Going to jail. Why does he glorify going to jail? Because that's what they do. When we had the panel, when everybody was on the panel, Sister T, me, Queen Regina, and Kwame, and Gil, all five of us is in the panel. Who is not in the panel? Gummy. Right? Out of all five of us, who has the most successful channel? Kwame. Who's most known prevalently out of all of us that's here? That the public would know right away if they walk down the street? Gil. But why isn't his channel on YouTube blowing up and going off the streams? Because no one really cares about Gil. He doesn't have the personality to sell it. Queen and Sister T have a connection and really blew up and stretched their channel and grew to prominence when Kwame came into the picture. My channel was already known for hip hop and sports, but it went to another level once we linked up with Kwame. So the thing is that none of us needed Gilbert to be successful. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Kwame didn't mention Gilbert at all. Quill Gilbert stepped right out of it and said, nope, nope, nope. Don't want none of that smoke that Matt and Jack is getting. I'm out. So we didn't give it to Gil. We gave it to Matt, and we gave it to Cabin Jack. Gil was not mentioned by our Sister T or Queen Regina at that time at all. Nobody was mentioning Gil. Now realizing he missed his popularity boat, he could have used Kwame to build up something. Then that's when he decided, I'm just going to go all in and go back and forth and do all this to build up my interests. But it's backfiring because what he wanted to do was team up with Kwame. Because Gil's not strong enough to do what I just did right now. He can't hold court for a whole hour plus and still be sitting up there talking an hour, 30 minutes all by himself without having a co-host, somebody to give him a break. He can't do what I do. He can't do what Kwame do. He can't do what Queen Regina and Sister T can do. He can't do that. So that's why these situations always ended up falling in these narratives and these tropes. Because he can't do these things. Why would someone have to protect somebody? From whom? From a guy in California who ain't doing a damn thing but talking? To a drunk every night? Talking about what he gon' do. Who's worried about him? Nobody worried about him. Not one bit. And they're tampering with my live stream right now. Hold on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Mm-hmm. Well, they don't send out a lot of Kwame's notifications. So I'm still living off what video? Hmm? I think Kwame in the car riding already.
You want to point out your box? This is hypocrisy for your ass. I'm gonna call one more time. Never call one more time again. Beat me as a phone for me, now what I need to talk about why I need to I want to talk to you, please answer, let me call him again. Nigga, stop playing, bitch ass nigga. I saw that look in your face, though. Yeah. I saw that look in your face when I hit that panel. That's the same goddamn look I'm gonna see when I see your bitch ass in the flesh. I saw that look, you was shook, nigga. Trying to block.
He sure was.
You what? Hurry up trying to hit that goddamn block, but you were mad at your moderator. You a bitch and I can see it, nigga. I saw it, nigga.
Hey, I'm finna go on here to Kwame's. Y'all go over there to Kwame Brown. Thank everybody that came in here. This was great, but now it's time to get over here. I'm gonna go over there and thank. What's up, Queen? Shout out to everybody that came over. Queen Regina, Sister T, Doe Eyes, at Kwame Brown Bus Life. Gonna sit here, eat my grapes, watch Kwame go off. I'm out.